Most people think being broke means not earning enough, but that's not true. Because Mike makes $65,000 a year. He has a stable job. He pays his bills on time. He even saves sometimes. From the outside, he looks fine, but every month, his bank account tells a different story. It hits zero again, and again, and again. And the worst part, Mike doesn't even know what he's doing wrong, because he did everything right. He went to school, got a degree, landed a job, just like everyone told him to. So why does it feel like he's stuck? Why does it feel like no matter how hard he works, nothing actually changes? The answer is simple. Mike isn't broke because of his income. He's broke because of a system he doesn't even realize he's trapped in. And once you see this system, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Mike wakes up at 7:30 in the morning. His alarm goes off. He grabs his phone. First thing, he checks his bank account. $1,247. Not bad. He got paid 3 days ago. He feels so key. Not rich. Not struggling. Just average. He hits ready, grabs a coffee, and heads to work. Traffic. Same route, same playlist. Sham. Routine. Nothing feels wrong. But that's exactly the problem. Because Mike's life looks normal. And normal is where people stay stuck the longest. At work, Mike does what he always does. Answers emails, sits in meetings, waits for lunch. He scrolls through his phone, sees people traveling, buying new cars, moving into nicer apartments, and he thinks, I'm not doing that bad. I just need a little more money. That's the lie. The one almost everyone believes, that the solution is just more income. But here's what Mike doesn't see yet. Every time his income increased in the past, his life got more expensive, not better. A year ago, Mike got a raise. It felt amazing. More money, more freedom. At least that's what he thought. Within months, he upgraded his apartment, started ordering food more often, bought a better phone, subscribed to more stuff. Nothing crazy, just small upgrades, things that felt deserved. But those small upgrades, they had ate up quietly and permanently. This is where the first trap begins. It's called something most people never notice, but almost everyone falls into it. Lifestyle inflation. The moment your income goes up, your expenses follow. And just like that, you're back where you started. Mike didn't become richer. He just became more expensive to maintain. One night, Mike is sitting on his couch, scrolling through his phone. He randomly opens his banking app. Balance, $83. He pauses, refreshes it, still $83. His next paycheck is 5 days away, and suddenly that comfortable feeling disappears. He starts thinking, how is this even possible? I make decent money. I don't buy anything crazy, so where does it all go? That question changes everything. Because for the first time, Mike isn't ignoring Italiano. He's actually looking at it. And what he finds is uncomfortable. Mike doesn't have a spending problem. He has a thinking problem, because Mike doesn't buy things, he buys payments. Think about it. His car? Not $30,000. It's $480 a month. His phone? Not $1,000. It's $45 a month. Subscriptions? $10 here, $15 there, $20 somewhere else. Individually, they feel small, harmless, easy to justify, but together, they quietly drain everything. This is the second trap. The payment mindset, where you stop asking, how much does this cost? And start asking, can I afford the monthly payment? And that question is dangerous because it hides the real price. Mike remembers the day he bought his car. He walked into the dealership, saw a car he liked. Clean, modern, comfortable. The salesman didn't talk about price. He talked about payments, $480 a month. That sounded manageable, so Mike said, yes. But what Mike didn't think about was everything else. Insurance, gas, maintenance, interest. That $480 was never just $480. It was closer to $700 every single month. And here's the scary part. That wasn't the only thing like that in his life. Everything was built on payments. Everything was spread out. Everything felt affordable. But combined, it left him with nothing. That's when Mike realizes something uncomfortable. He isn't in control of his money. His money is controlling him. Every dollar already has a job. Before it even hits his account, rent takes a chunk. Car takes a chunk. Subscriptions take a chunk. Food takes a chunk. And whatever's left disappears. No plan, no direction, no system. And that's the third trap, the one that keeps people stuck the longest. No system. Mike never learned how money actually works. He just learned how to earn it, and then spend it, like most people. So every month looks the same. Money comes in, money goes out, and nothing changes. No growth, no progress, just repetition, until one day something small happens. But it changes everything. Mike is watching a video, not about getting rich, not about side hustles, not about working harder. Just a simple idea. One sentence. Pay yourself first, that's it. No complicated strategy. No secret formula. Just that. Before bills, before rent, before spending, you take a portion and keep it. For yourself, at first, it sounds weird, even uncomfortable, because Mike has always done the opposite. He pays everything else first, and hopes something is left. But there's never anything left. So this time he decides to try something different. Next paycheck, Mike sets a rule. 20% goes into savings. Immediately. No excuses. No delays. Then he pays his bills. Then he spends what's left, and something strange happens. For the first time, he feels in control. It's not a huge amount. It doesn't make him rich overnight, but it's different. Because now, his money has direction. And for the first time, Mike isn't just working for money. Money is starting to work for him. But what Mike doesn't realize yet is that this is just the beginning. Because saving money is not the same as building wealth. And in the next phase of his journey, Mike is about to make a mistake almost everyone makes. A mistake that keeps people stuck even when they start doing things right. And once you understand this, you'll see why most people never escape the cycle. Because Mike was never broke. He was just playing the wrong game. Mike thought he finally figured it out. He started saving money. Every paycheck, 20% went into a separate account. For the first time in his life, his balance was not going down. It was growing. Slowly, but consistently. At first, it felt small, a few $100s, then a few thousand. Nothing crazy, but something inside Mike changed. For the first time, it felt ahead. 6 months later, Mike checks his account. $5,200. He smiles. It's not life-changing, but it's proof. Proof that he is doing something right. But then, something dangerous happens. Something that almost everyone experiences at this stage. Mike starts thinking, I'm doing good now. I've got savings. I'm finally getting ahead. And that's where the next trap begins. Because saving money feels like progress, but it's not the same as building wealth. Mike doesn't realize this yet, so he keeps going. Same system, same routine. Save money, avoid overspending, stay disciplined. Another few months pass, $7,800. Then $10,000. That number hits different. $1,000 feels big. It feels like safety, like protection, like success. Mike feels proud, and sold. Most people never even reach this point. But here's the problem. Mike's money is just sitting there. Not growing, not multiplying. Just sitting, and quietly. Losing value, because of something most people ignore. Inflation. Prices are rising every year. Food, rent, gas. everything. And Mike's money stays the same, which means he's actually losing money without touching it. But Mike doesn't see that, because the number is going up. $10,000 looks better than $5,000, so it feels like progress. But in reality, he's stuck again. Different level. Same problem. This is the fourth trap. Saving without investing. One day, Mike is talking to his coworker. They're having lunch. Nothing serious. Just casual conversation. And somehow, money comes up. Mike says, "Yeah, I've been saving more lately." His coworker nods. Then asks, "Nice. Where are you investing it?" Mike pauses. Investing. That word feels intimidating, complicated, risky. Mike thinks of stocks crashing, people losing money, news headlines. So he responds, "I'm not investing yet, just saving for now." His coworker looks at him, not judging, just surprised. Then he says something simple, but it sticks with Mike. "If your money isn't growing, you're falling behind." That line doesn't leave Mike's mind. That night, he opens his laptop, and for the first time, he searches how to invest money. And immediately, he feels overwhelmed. Stocks, ETFs, index funds, crypto, real estate. Too many options. Too many opinions. Some people say, invest aggressively. Others say, play it safe. Some say, buy this stock. Others say, never touch stocks. Mike closes his laptop. This is too much. And that's where most people stop. Not because they don't care, but because it feels confusing. So they go back to what feels safe. Saving. But Mike doesn't. This time, he decides to keep going. He simplifies everything. Instead of trying to learn everything, he focuses on one idea. Long-term investing. Not quick money, not trading, not guessing. Just slow. Consistent growth. He learns about something called index funds. Simple. Diversified. Low effort. Not exciting, but effective. And for the first time, investing doesn't feel scary. It feels logical. So Mike takes a step. A small one. He invests $500. And immediately, he feels nervous. What if it drops? What if I lose it? The next day, he checks. His heart drops. I knew it. That feeling hits hard. Regret. Fear. Doubt. He thinks about pulling it out, but he doesn't, because he remembers something. This isn't about tomorrow, it's about years, so he leaves it. Days pass, then weeks. The number goes up, then down, then up again, and slowly, Mike starts understanding something important. Investing isn't about control, it's about patience. And that's hard. Because everything in Mike's life is instant. Food, entertainment, shopping. But wealth. 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 And wealth. Months pass. Mike keeps investing. Every paycheck. Same system. Not checking every day. Not reacting to every drop. Just consistency. And then, something interesting happens. His money starts growing, without him doing anything. Small at first. $10, $20, $50. But it's different, because now, his money is working, not just sitting. And that changes everything. Mike finally understands the difference. Saving protects money. Investing grows it, and you need both. But what Mike doesn't realize yet is that he's about to face the hardest part of the journey. Because building wealth isn't just about money. It's about behavior, emotions, and discipline. And soon, Mike will face a moment where everything he's built will be tested, a moment where most people quit and go back to zero. Mike finally felt like he was doing things right. He was saving, he was investing. He had a system for the first time in years. He wasn't stressed about money every day. His account wasn't huge, but it was growing. Slowly, quietly. And then everything changed. One morning, Mike wakes up, grabs his phone, opens his investment app, and freezes. His portfolio is down. Not a little. A lot, minus $1,200. He refreshes the screen. Still down. His chest tightens. What just happened? He opens the news. Headlines everywhere. Markets dropping. Fear. Uncertainty. And suddenly all the confidence he built starts disappearing. This is the moment that separates people who build wealth from people who don't. Because what Mike does next matters more than everything he has done so far. His mind starts racing. What if it keeps going down? What if I lose everything? Should I sell now? That voice feels logical, safe, but it's not. It's fear, and fear is expensive. Mike remembers something he read. The market doesn't take money from people who are patient. It takes money from people who panic. He stares at his screen, finger hovering over the sell button. This is the hardest part. Not earning money. Not saving money. Holding on, doing nothing. Which sounds easy, but feels impossible. Minutes pass, then slowly, Mike puts his phone down. He doesn't sell. That one decision changes everything. Days pass, then weeks. The market keeps moving. Up, down, sideways. But Mike doesn't react. He sticks to the plan. Keeps investing. Keeps showing up. And something inside him shifts. He stops thinking short-term, stops chasing quick wins, and starts understanding the real game. Because wealth is not built in days. It's built in years. And then, something incredible happens. Not overnight, not suddenly, but gradually. Mike's money starts growing faster. At first he doesn't notice. Then one day, he checks his account, and something feels different. The growth is no longer just from what he adds, it's coming from the money itself. This is the moment most people never reach, because this is where compounding begins. At the start, it feels slow, almost pointless, but over time, it builds momentum. Money makes money, and that money makes more money, like a snowball rolling downhill. Small at first, then unstoppable. Mike finally understands. This was never about making more money quickly. It was about time, consistency, and patience. Years pass. Mike doesn't become a millionaire overnight. There's no dramatic moment, no lottery win, just steady progress. His stress disappears. His decisions change. He stops buying things to feel better, stops chasing status, and starts focusing on freedom. Because that's what money really buys. Not cars, not clothes. Time. Options. Peace. Mike is no longer stuck. Not because he earns more, but because he plays a different game. A game most people never learn because they quit too early. They panic. They chase shortcuts. They restart over and over again. But Mike didn't. He stayed. And that's the difference. Now, when Mike looks at his life, he doesn't see numbers. He sees control, and that changes everything. Because the truth is, most Americans don't stay broke because they're lazy. They stay broke because no one ever taught them the system of saving first, investing consistently, ignoring noise, staying patient. Simple, but not easy. And now, you've seen it. The three parts, the traps, and the way out. So the question is, what will you do next? Because knowing this changes nothing unless you act on it.